all of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
Diddy made a lot of people mad and upset.
Let's talk about one of the wildest and most controversial trauma-filled sagas in the entertainment world right now. Picture this. One of the biggest names in hip-hop, Sean Diddy Combs, is being dragged into some of the most jaw-dropping allegations we've seen in years. And in the middle of all this chaos, two of the funniest and most outspoken comedians in the game, Hughley and Katt Williams in the game, Hughley and Katt Williams, are not holding back. They're spilling tea, cracking jokes, and frankly, blowing this entire situation wide open. But let's rewind for a moment. How did we even get here?
Quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
First, let's set the stage. Diddy has been a household name in hip-hop for decades, known for his flashy lifestyle, chart-topping hits, and larger-than-life persona. But lately, his name is being mentioned in ways that no one could have predicted. From allegations of abuse to whispers about connections to jaw-dropping events in rap history, it feels like every corner of Diddy's past is being dragged into the light. And let's be real, it's not just legal documents or lawsuits doing the talking. Celebrities are chiming in, and some of them are not holding back at all.
Named Diddy 77 times in court documents related to 2Pac's murder.
Katt Williams, the comedian who's as fearless as they come, earlier this year, in an interview that's since gone viral, Katt sat down with Shannon Sharpie on Club Shay Shay and spilled some of the most eyebrow-raising, jaw-dropping, and downright shocking opinions about Diddy. As if he had a crystal ball, Katt declared that 2024 would be the year when all lies will be exposed. And boy, has that statement aged like fine wine. In the interview, Katt didn't mince words, calling Diddy a demon, and even tying his disdain for the music mogul to long-standing rumors about his involvement in the untimely end of legendary rapper Shakur. Katt made it personal, saying Shakur was his favorite artist growing up and that if he ever found out someone had a hand in taking him out, he'd stop at nothing to hold them accountable. It was a bold statement, and while some might have brushed it off as just another rant from a comedian, the events that followed have made people take a second look.
All lies will be exposed, that's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
But before we dive deeper into what Katt said, let's not forget Hughley's role in this unfolding drama. DL, who's known for his sharp wit and unfiltered opinions, recently appeared on Big Boy's radio show and managed to turn the conversation about Diddy into a comedic roast session that had everyone talking. With his signature humor, DL joked about Diddy's alleged stash of lubricant found during a raid, comparing it to Nick Cannon's parenting situation, saying Nick Cannon got 900 kids and he ain't even got 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It was pure comedy gold, but beneath the laughter, there was a sense that even Hughley couldn't ignore the gravity of the allegations surrounding Diddy. The jokes kept coming, though, as DL took shots at Diddy's lifestyle choices, even calling out his peach-flavored liquor brand. Any man who comes up with peaches. I haven't trusted Puffy since then, Hughley quipped. And while the humor was on point, the subtext was clear. Diddy's public image is taking hit after hit, and people are starting to question everything.
I've always known him to be a stand-up human being who was always concerned about more things than him, and he wanted to make it better for a lot of people as fast as he could.
Now, let's get back to Katt Williams, because his comments have been the real lightning rod in this entire situation. In his Club Shay Shay interview, Katt didn't just throw shade, he threw the whole tree. He made it clear that his issue with Diddy wasn't just about personal grievances. It was about what he called spiritual warfare. According to Katt, Diddy's alleged actions over the years have gone beyond typical celebrity scandals and entered a realm of darkness that he couldn't ignore. I don't care what job I end up being in. I don't care how things go. If I can get a way to get you, that's what I'm all about. Katt said, doubling down on his belief that Diddy has been walking around unchecked for far too long. He even hinted that his disdain for Diddy was rooted in the rumors about his involvement in Shakur's tragic end. And while Katt didn't outright claim to have proof, his conviction was enough to make people pause and wonder.
Well, he also explained why he dissed Diddy, and that was because of Tupac. He said, when I was a young man, Tupac was my favorite artist. I loved Tupac, and I felt like we were kindred spirits. So if I hear you're responsible for knocking my dude off, I don't give a what job I end up being in. I don't care how things go. If I can get a way to get you, that's what I'm all about. I just don't like you walking around scot-free because you a demon, and I know demons are powerful, but I know why they're powerful.
But here's where things get even more interesting. Katt's comments about Diddy being a demon weren't just a one-off remark. He expanded on this idea in a later interview, explaining that he believes there's a deeper, almost metaphysical element to the chaos surrounding Diddy. It's cold spiritual warfare going on out here in the real world, Katt said, suggesting that Diddy's power and influence might stem from something far darker than just wealth and connections. he didn't shy away from painting a vivid picture of a man who, in his view, has used his platform for manipulation and control. And while some might dismiss these claims as outlandish, others have started connecting the dots, especially given Diddy's current legal troubles and the unsettling allegations that have come to light.
When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
It's worth noting that this isn't the first time Katt has spoken out against powerful figures in the entertainment industry. Over the years, he built a reputation for fearlessly calling out what he sees as hypocrisy and corruption, even if it means putting his own career on the line. And while his outspoken nature has earned him both fans and critics, there's no denying that his words carry weight, especially when they seem to align with real-world events. In this case, Katt's comments about Diddy have only gained more traction as new allegations and lawsuits continue to pile up against the music mogul.
I believe he believes it. I believe he believes it. He's a good man. You have all these conversations with people who say all these things. All I know is we laughed a lot. He amazed me a lot.
And let's not forget the historical context here. The rumors about Diddy's involvement in Shakur's downfall have been swirling for decades, fueled by everything from interviews and books to alleged confessions and leaked documents. Whether it's claims that Diddy offered a massive sum of money to orchestrate the infamous Las Vegas incident or whispers that he played a role in the 1994 studio attack where Shakur was injured, these stories have refused to fade away. And now, with Katt Williams and DL Hughley adding their voices to the conversation, it feels like the floodgates have opened. The timing couldn't be more significant, as Diddy faces an avalanche of legal battles that have already tarnished his legacy and raised serious questions about his past.
I'm Shauna Kalafi at the Fox 5 Update Desk. A new bombshell in the investigation into who killed 2Pac here in Vegas in 1996. The only man currently facing murder charges in the case, Dwayne Keefe Davis, claims that Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, paid for a hit on 2Pac.
But here's the thing. While comedians like Katt and DL are known for their humor, their insights often hit closer to the truth than people might expect. DL's jokes about Diddy's lavish lifestyle and Katt's fiery critique of his alleged actions might seem like entertainment on the surface, but they're also a reflection of the growing skepticism surrounding Diddy's image. And as more details emerge, it's becoming increasingly clear that this isn't just about jokes or personal vendettas. It's about a larger conversation around power, accountability, and the dark side of fame. What makes this even more compelling is the way Katt and DL's perspectives complement each other. While DL uses humor to highlight the absurdities of Diddy's situation, Katt takes a more serious and almost spiritual approach, framing Diddy's alleged actions as part of a larger battle between good and evil. Together, their commentary has created a narrative that's impossible to ignore, drawing attention not just to Diddy's current troubles, but also to the broader implications of his actions over the years.
If they did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
And let's not overlook the fact that these two comedians are speaking from a place of experience within the entertainment industry. They've seen firsthand how power dynamics play out behind the scenes, and their willingness to call out what they see as injustice adds a layer of credibility to their words. Whether you agree with their perspectives or not, there's no denying that they've sparked a conversation that's forcing people to take a closer look at Diddy's legacy and the industry as a whole.
3 law firms on retainer. I don't know how much money is coming in, but I know that a lot of money is going out every single month for Diddy.
As we move into the next part of this saga, it's clear that the story is far from over. Diddy's legal battles are just beginning, and the allegations against him are only getting more intense. The question now is, how will this all play out? Will Diddy finally face accountability for the allegations that have haunted him for years, or will he find a way to maintain his status and influence? And perhaps most intriguingly, how will voices like Katt Williams and DL Hughley continue to shape the narrative around one of the most controversial figures in hip-hop history?
We're monitoring another push to free Sean Diddy Combs tonight, with his legal team citing new evidence in an updated bail proposal. The music mogul agreeing to around-the-clock security and cutting out contact with basically anyone but his legal team to get out of jail ahead of his trial scheduled for May of next year for charges he allegedly coerced and abused women for years.
The saga surrounding Sean Diddy Combs takes a darker and more intense turn as his recent arrest and the swirl of allegations against him have opened up a Pandora's box of messy connections, unresolved rivalries, and long-standing rumors. If you thought the drama was limited to lawsuits and shady business dealings, think again. Because as Diddy prepares for his day in court, his name is being dragged into one of the most infamous chapters in hip-hop history, the untimely ends of two rap icons, Shakur and Biggie Smalls. And let's be real, once you start pulling at the threads of these stories, things get very messy very quickly. So let's dive right in. By now, everyone knows about the East Coast versus West Coast rap feud that defined the 1990s, a rivalry that many believe was fueled and perhaps even orchestrated by powerful industry figures, including Diddy. At the heart of this feud were two megastars, Shakur, representing the West Coast and Death Row Records, and the notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, who was signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records on the East Coast. Now, while the rivalry appeared to be between the two rappers on the surface, insiders have long claimed that the real power players pulling the strings were Diddy and Death Row's Suge Knight. And with Diddy's name now popping up in court documents, interviews, and even newly resurfaced testimonies, the question on everyone's mind is just how deep was his involvement?
It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our homicide section to get to where we are today.
Let's start with the Shakur story because this is where things get really wild. Back in 1996, Shakur was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, a case that has remained a case that has remained officially unsolved for nearly 3 decades. Over the years, countless theories have emerged about who was responsible, and Diddy's name has come up again and again. Most recently, a former gang leader named Keffy D, who was arrested in connection with Shakur's end, claimed that Diddy had a hand in orchestrating the whole thing. According to Keffy D, Diddy allegedly offered a staggering sum of money to have Shakur taken out, supposedly as part of a larger plan to protect his own empire during the height of the East Coast-West Coast feud. Now, whether or not this claim holds any weight is up for debate, but the fact that Diddy's name appears 77 times in court documents related to Keffy D's case has raised more than a few eyebrows.
What makes you say you lost your empire because of Puffy? Why you say that?
And here's where it gets even murkier. Keffy D's allegations aren't new. Back in 2009, during an interview with Las Vegas police, he reportedly told investigators that Diddy once said he would give anything to get rid of Suge Knight and Shakur. Keffy D even claimed that this conversation led to the events that unfolded in Las Vegas later that year. Of course, Diddy has always denied these allegations, calling them baseless and ridiculous. But with Keffy D now facing trial, the resurfacing of these claims has reignited a firestorm of speculation. And let's not forget, it's not just Keffy D pointing fingers. Former Bad Boy Records executive Kirk Burroughs has also hinted that Diddy might have had knowledge of or even involvement in the events surrounding Shakur's end. According to Burroughs, there was always an undercurrent of tension and paranoia within Bad Boy's inner circle, especially when it came to dealing with rival figures like Shakur and Suge Knight.
If I wouldn't have never met him, I would have never been involved in this bull. You know what I'm saying?
But it doesn't stop there. While Shakur's case has always been the focus, recent years have also brought renewed scrutiny to Biggie's story, and once again, Diddy's name is at the center of the controversy. Biggie, who was Diddy's protege and the crown jewel of Bad Boy Records, was taken out in a similar drive-by shooting in Los Angeles just 6 months after Shakur. Many have speculated that Biggie's end was a retaliatory attack connected to Shakur's, and some believe that Diddy may have played a role, whether directly or indirectly, in the circumstances leading up to that tragedy. Here's the thing. Biggie was reportedly planning to leave Bad Boy Records at the time of his passing. According to photographer Monique Bunn, who was close to the rapper, Biggie had confided in her that he was unhappy with how things were being run at Bad Boy and wanted to strike out on his own. This revelation has fueled speculation that Diddy might have had a motive to prevent Biggie from leaving, although there's no concrete evidence to support this theory. Still, the timing and circumstances surrounding Biggie's passing have left many unanswered questions, and with Diddy's current legal troubles bringing his entire legacy under scrutiny, people are starting to connect the dots in ways that are, frankly, not looking good for him.
So before we get off of that, you and Puffy was hanging out one day, and he wasn't serious about it, but it was floating in the air. He made a comment.
You're just gonna keep on trying to get that. I keep saying it was floating in the air, dog. Okay.
And speaking of legal troubles, let's not forget the broader context here. Diddy is currently facing a mountain of allegations that go beyond the world of hip-hop feuds and into some truly disturbing territory. From accusations of misconduct to claims of orchestrating elaborate schemes to control and exploit those around him, the picture being painted is one of a man who has spent decades wielding his power in ways that are now coming back to haunt him. And as more and more people come forward with stories about their experiences with Diddy, it's becoming harder to dismiss these allegations as mere rumors or vendettas.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Take Katt Williams' comments, for example. While his claims about Diddy's involvement in Shakur's story may be based on speculation, they're part of a larger narrative that's been building for years. Katt has openly criticized what he sees as a toxic culture within the entertainment industry, and he's made it clear that he believes Diddy is one of the key figures perpetuating that culture. In his now famous Club Shay Shay interview, Katt didn't hold back, calling Diddy a demon and accusing him of being part of a larger system of manipulation and control. And while some might dismiss Katt's comments as over the top, there's no denying that they've struck a chord with many who feel that Diddy's time in the spotlight is long overdue for a reckoning.
It sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping.
Even those who have defended Diddy in the past are starting to distance themselves from him. Just look at what happened with his legal team. After over 2 decades of representing Diddy, the high-profile law firm Grubman, Shire, Measless, and Sachs recently dropped him as a client. While the official reason for this decision remains unclear, insiders have suggested that the mounting allegations against Diddy played a significant role. And let's be real, when your own lawyers decide they can't represent you anymore, that's usually not a great sign.
That fact in of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, you know, there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the...
So, where does this leave us? On one hand, Diddy has always been a polarizing figure, someone who has managed to stay at the top of the entertainment industry despite constant whispers about his questionable behavior. But on the other hand, the sheer volume and severity of the allegations against him are impossible to ignore. Whether it's his alleged involvement in the events surrounding Shakur and Biggie, the accusations from his former partners and employees, or the legal battles he's currently facing, it seems like the walls are finally closing in on Diddy. As the drama surrounding Diddy continues to unfold, it's clear that this story is far from over. With allegations piling up and influential figures like Katt Williams and Hughley adding fuel to the fire, the questions remain. Is Diddy truly the mastermind behind some of hip-hop's darkest moments, or is he a victim of a relentless smear campaign? And how will these revelations shape the future of the music industry? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The floor is yours. Until next time, stay tuned and keep the conversation going. Goodbye for now.